If you really want to understand what's been going on, what's really messed up, then listen. Everyone's acting like I'm this villain, like I've done something unforgivable, just because my past came to light and some of my current connections raised a few eyebrows. But no one wants to hear the full truth. No one wants to ask why things were the way they were. Juliana. I'm 29. And right now, my entire life feels like it's been flipped inside out. All because my husband, Aaron, 32, discovered things about my past I hadn't told him up front. Things from when I was barely legal. Things I kept hidden not out of malice, but out of fear. Because I knew how he'd react. And I was right. What no one seems to understand is that back then, I wasn't some reckless, carefree girl. I was an addict. I was exploited. I was barely out of high school, trying to survive in a world full of adults who saw vulnerability and took advantage. And yet now, people act like I'm the one who should be ashamed, as if I haven't already carried that shame for years. Aaron. He lost it when he found out. Called me disgusting. Said I belonged in a whorehouse. But you know what nobody wants to talk about? He's been obsessively watching those old videos. My lowest, most broken moments, on repeat. He acts like he's horrified, but he's watching them. And not just once. Regularly. That's not trying to understand what I've been through. That's something darker. And now he's accusing me of cheating because I've been working closely with some people in the modeling and marketing industries. Because I've been trying to build a future. Because I'm networking. Collaborating. Dreaming bigger than the four walls of this marriage. Apparently, being ambitious and forming working relationships with successful men makes me unfaithful in his eyes. Let me be clear. I've never hidden my ambition. I've been building real, meaningful professional relationships. Mentorships, investment opportunities, project collaborations. I've worked late. I've had business dinners. Strategy sessions. And yes, sometimes those lines blur. Sometimes the connection goes deeper. But that's what happens when people actually respect what you bring to the table. They treat you as a person, not as a threat. And Aaron, he didn't ask. He accused. Every time I left the house, it turned into an interrogation. Where are you going? Who will be there? How long will you be gone? What will you wear? So I stopped giving him the details, not because I had anything to hide, but because I didn't want to deal with the drama. The real kicker. He's been hiding his own phone, changing his passwords. Meanwhile, I was the one being spied on. He went through my phone without permission and found messages, professional messages, that he twisted into some grand betrayal. Yes, some of them were personal too, because working with people closely does create bonds. But messages like, looking forward to our next meeting, or thinking about our last project pitch, somehow became smoking guns in his eyes. One of the people he's obsessing over is Jordan. We've been working together on branding projects for a few months. He's smart, driven, and he actually listens when I talk about my goals. For once, someone believed in me. Not in spite of my past, but because they saw the person I've become. Last week, when things hit the boiling point, Jordan showed up at the house. I didn't know he was coming. We'd had an urgent project deadline, and I hadn't responded all day because Aaron and I had been fighting. Jordan had no idea what he was walking into. He just wanted to talk business. But Aaron turned it into a scene. He interrogated Jordan like a cop, turned a client meeting into a showdown, humiliated both of us. And then the spiral began. Aaron started throwing everything in my face. The old videos, the people from my past, the financial help I've received from investors, mentors, people who see my potential and put their money where their mouth is. But instead of seeing it as validation, Aaron saw it as dirty. Accused me of selling myself all over again. He says he's in therapy, says he's changed. But the second he felt challenged, his mask slipped. Suddenly he was throwing slurs, threats, accusations. Suddenly, the woman he loved was the girl from those videos again. That's the part that hurts the most. 'Cause I thought he understood. I thought he loved me, not the cleaned-up version of me he built in his head. The truth is, I've worked hard to become the woman I am now. I've taken the trauma, the mistakes, the shame, and I've turned them into something meaningful. I'm not perfect. I've been secretive at times, but not malicious. I've just been trying to grow, to reclaim my own story. And what has he done? He's judged, controlled, monitored, obsessed. Instead of cheering me on, he's been trying to pull me back into a box. Instead of helping me heal, he's weaponized my pain. And when I finally told him I needed space, just to breathe, to think, he exploded. I don't know where our marriage goes from here. Maybe it's over. Maybe it needs to be. Because if your partner only loves the sanitized version of you, the part that makes them feel secure, but can't handle the parts that made you who you are, then is that love at all? I'm not ashamed anymore. Not of who I was, not of what I've been through, and certainly not of what I'm building now. I'm tired of apologizing for chasing something more. Tired of defending my right to be taken seriously. Tired of having my past used like a leash around my neck. Maybe Aaron thinks he's the victim here. But between you and me, the real betrayal was thinking he could love all of me, and realizing he never even tried.